What's up, everyone, and the World Wide Web? And today we're in a new studio. Can you tell the difference? I mean, to you it's just black, but maybe there's some audio difference. I don't know. Comment below if you can tell the difference. I can't really tell from my point of view, except for everything else on that side of the camera. So today we are talking about morality in art, specifically stories, books, and movies. Now I'm talking about what makes a movie good and what makes a movie bad. Now I'm not talking about the structure. I'm not talking about any of the elements of drama in this particular one. I'm talking about morality. So the traditional mindset of moral stories means avoiding things like murder, violence, sex, profanity. These are the things that really are the traditional, these are what make movies bad. And this is what a lot of the TV ratings are based off of these aspects. But there's other ways to look at stories, because there are some stories that are worth telling that unfortunately tackle some of these topics. So two examples of this, of good stories that contain controversial insides, would be, for instance, Forrest Gump tells a great story, but has some content in it that would be considered more mature. That also includes Catch Me If You Can, another great story, but also has content that is controversial. Now, John Gardner, an American author, also talked about morality, and he said that there is three aspects of morality. There's three kinds of stories, he said. There's the story that says life is easy. This is, in his opinion, immoral because life is not easy. It's a lie. Some examples of this would be some of the conflict-free Disney movies. The next aspect, the next kind of story he talks about is that life is hard and it's not worth it. An example of this would be, I haven't seen this movie, or it's a series, but 13 Reasons Why. I've heard that is not a story that would coincide with a moral story, according to John Gardner. Now, in John Gardner's opinion, the only moral story is life is hard, but it's worth it. And these are stories filled with strife, but at the end, you feel that you have, as an audience, felt that you are ready to fight, ready to continue on, despite the obstacles. Now, there's another way to look at stories. Joseph Campbell, the author of A Hero with a Thousand Faces, talks about a story where a moral story is where the hero moves forward. This is stories where they progress, where you move, where you change, and where spirit and body come together and become unified. Now, these aspects, these perspectives, these kind of lend to my perspective when looking at movies and books. The stories should be moral. For instance, an immoral story, according to a lot of these criteria, would be Grease. The movie centers around a girl being corrupted. Now, there's, as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen it in a long time, but as far as I'm aware, there is no profanity, there's no violence in the movies, there's no objectionable content here, but it tells an immoral story. Now, I did have a list of 30 movies that are must-see movies. Link in here somewhere. This list has some movies that are rated for higher audiences, have parental advisories on them. Now, I'm not saying that violence, sex, and profanity are good things at all. I do not appreciate gratuitous content, but it helps me, with this perspective, it helps me look past that to see what the story that the people are trying to tell. Like, for instance, with Gladiator, it tells a story of honor and of, revenge, and how power can corrupt and how revenge can corrupt. And this is a good story because it helps people move on and shows the consequences of not moving on. I'm not saying that every story is like that, but with that perspective, you see the story rather than the content. The story may be beautiful, but have some objectionable content there. With this perspective, I try to find content and movies that tell good and moral stories that help us progress, that help us find unity with spirit and body, that help us to realize that life is hard, but it is worth it. Now, that's my thoughts on morality in art and stories and books. And if you like the video, leave a like for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'm really trying to get a discussion going on this topic because this is a controversial topic. I'm sure some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. If you disagree with me highly, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll be happy to talk further with you in a civil manner. Mind you, I will not have name calling down in that section below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Remember, it's not what you watch, but how you watch it that makes you a scholar.
Have you seen The Mandalorian? Oh my goodness, it was amazing!
I thought it stunk.
What? You are crazy! What are you talking about? It's Star Wars!
Yeah, whatever. There's no lightsabers. And I can say multiple plot points that were not relevant at all.
Whatever, man. You are unowned by me. Bye!
Well, that got rid of him.